let's wait to see us. I want to see all your smiley, happy, shining faces, and let's get this party started here. Here we go. Okay, everybody.
Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes
Pretending
away?
I'm wearing a watch.
Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
Thank you to the voice of Ryan Treasure. I'm Bonnie D. New name, new year. Here we are. This is my 11th annual Crystal Ball Prediction Special, and I have 8 of my very favorite futurists on with me today. Don't tell the others. There are about 8 more coming next week and 10 more coming the week after. And I've already done 2 cool dude predictions with 22. So, and some of you were on some of those. There you go. So let me start my opening here. Welcome to Technology Revolution's 11th annual Crystal Ball Bright. Gazing into 2026. I want you all to gazing into 26 and beyond. That's it, Nancy. You do it. In an optimistic light, Bonnie D and her Scarlett mics live streaming. Hugh brings Visionary Futurist predictions to you. You're all Visionary Futurists today. Put that on your business card. Innovation is their compass. Opportunities are their sail, S-A-I-L. Will their visions triumph? Or maybe some might derail. Uh-oh. First, let's look at the year just done. Many words joined the lexicon. Some serious, some fun. Okay, I'm going to give you some words. See if you know them. Biohack joined Oxford's Words of the Year 2025. Sherry knows this one. And Dictionary.com's 6-7 prove nonsense can thrive. She's got a Substack called 6-7, and you can guess why. No, you can't. Merriam-Webster's Slops for low-quality content galore, and modern slang reshapes how we connect and explore. Yes, bet, bussin', mid, vibe check, and no cap also made the list. Extra goat, you're all greatest of all time, so you're all goats. Take that well. GRWM, get ready with me. A lot of TikTok videos. IYKYK. Anybody know what that means? Anybody know what that means? Say it, Eric.
If you know, you know.
Perfect. I had to write it in my notes. And spill the tea. We're not missed. Now, today's visionary is a truly brilliant force. You're all brilliant right now. Will unveil predictions charting tomorrow's course. Sharper than Van Halen's blazing guitar riff, they'll each take the mic. Smart, fierce, and terrific. So raise your Java, your Jack, your Dom, or your Earl, whatever you have left over from New Year's Eve. On 2026 Crystal Ball Special number 1, the future is about to unfurl. I'm going to introduce each of you just before you speak, and I have a little intro gift for you. So Commander Varma is first, and let me read your intro, and then I'll put you on speaker view. From Lucknow's lanes, where purpose took root, in a home of service, Aditya was raised to be astute. Commissioned in the Indian Navy, he set his sights on tech and tactics and operational heights. Now he mentors startups, advises the state at the crossroads helm of policy and cybersecurity fate. Aditya, delighted to have you here. I'm putting you on speaker view. Why don't you give us your predictions? Go.
Thank you, Bonnie, and hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here again. And Happy New Year to all of you and to all our viewers. So, I would say 2025 was special in tech, and in 2025, the real superpower, I would say, was adaptability. And the winners, I mean, who have moved into 26 would be, the organizations that have learned fast, have unlearned fast, and I would say adjusted without drama. So let me give you my prediction number 1. So AI becomes everyday work and not a special project. So what do I mean by that? AI stops being a separate initiative and becomes a normal part of work, like your like your email or your search. I mean, we've got AI everywhere now, right? So what does it look like in real life? Every team gets an AI assistant. HR, finance, operations, customer support, cybersecurity, sales. Everyone is talking about AI, right? AI gets built into common workflows, summarizing, drafting, analyzing, planning, prioritizing. So the big shift, I would say, is, from I did a task, it becomes I manage the outcome. I mean, that's what we talk about now. And why it matters, because productivity doesn't jump from one magic tool. It jumps when AI is embedded into our everyday routines. But the alert, I would say, is that companies that treat AI as a side experiment will fall behind, and those who actually build it as a daily habit, I would say, would be the ones that thrive. That would be prediction number one. Moving on to prediction number two. I would say trust becomes the new competitive advantage, because now the questions that are asked is it's not that can AI do this. The question is, can we trust it enough to use it at scale, right? So we talk about guardrails. I also call them AI seat belts, because uh, the clear rules today are what AI can access and what it can't, right? Then we need, being a cyber guy, I always talk about strong identity and permissions. Who asked it, who approved it, right? In term When we talk about AI, then very strong audit trails, what it did, when it did, and why. And obviously, when we're talking about AI, privacy and compliance has to be baked in. So trust is what moves AI from a cool demo to, I would say, board approved deployments, because we are practically we practic AI is everywhere now. But yes, we again, alert, expect more focus on governance, not to slow things down, but to make AI safe enough to move faster. Prediction number three: agents move from chatting to doing. Uh, what does that mean? Yes, we are seeing the shift. 2026 is when we go from chatbots to production grade AI agents. Think of them like little digital interns, that can complete multi-step work. So, what are we telling AI to do today? Plan the project, create the checklist, monitor issues, open tickets. And when we look at security now, we are actually giving prompts, telling the AI to detect, to investigate, even recommend response steps, with obviously a human approving the actions. So I would say agents will be more reliable. They'll work within permission boundaries, and they'll produce logs and evidence, and not just answers. And why this matters is because this is where workflow gets redesigned. And again, the alert: the winner won't be the people with the most agents, but they'll be the ones with the best controls and the cleanest data, right? Because finally, it's all about data. So yes, those were my three predictions.
Thank you. What a great start. Everybody, can we give them a round of applause for some? Those are foundational command. I'm just going to call you commander. Those are foundational. And I love the way you said AI, it can't just be a side project. It's got to be, I think I saw a lot of nods going on around the table. Thank you so much. Everybody, I just want you to smile. I didn't take pictures before we were setting up, so I just want a nice, everybody give me your best smile. There we go. We're doing live streaming smile photography. Isn't this great? Never did this before. It's in New York. I can do whatever I want. Okay, let's go to our next visionary. That was great. Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you.
Are you still commanding a ship, or are you commanding your cybersecurity business right now?
No, no, Bonnie, I think if you recall our last conversation, it's been 2 years plus now since I moved out of uniform and into the corporate jungle now.
I love the hat though, I gotta say. You're looking very uniform to me. Thank you very much. Next up is Nancy L. Schick, and she always fools me because she spells her name Nance. I'm sorry, it's just so French to me, Nance. Okay, from HR halls to courtroom might, Nancy turned a lawsuit into the light. A mediator's path she chose with care. Employment law, a bridge that took her there. Launching third ear conflict resolution, she has lots to say. She's resolving workplace disputes in a much better way. I hope you like that, Nancy. Yes?
I loved that.
Oh, good.
So much better than most of my marketing materials. So thank you.
I'm hireable. Okay. Yes. Tammy's going to be my PR agent here because yes, but Blue Butterfly, I like that. Okay. Nancy, I'm putting you on speaker view. Why don't you give us your predictions, please? Go.
So I think I'm going to piggyback first on this idea of integration, because one of the things that I'm definitely seeing in my own practice and with my clients is that we're using it to make us better at what we already do, right? And I think that's what we want AI to do, is not necessarily replace us, because there are certain things that humans still do better. The problem with that, I think we've talked about this in prior episodes, is that some of the things that humans are going to be asked to do that we have the potential to do better, like resolve conflicts and talk to each other, we're not great at. But again, AI can fill that need by giving us these opportunities to role play different scenarios. It can pick up on nuance in virtual meetings like this, and we could analyze this later and see who was disengaged, who was engaged, who was very enthusiastic about what they're talking about, and who maybe won't happen here, but in another meeting might get aggressive or defensive. And we can then look at that happening in a meeting in a way that we can address an issue before it becomes a major dispute, such as a legal dispute. I love this opportunity. So the other thing that I'm hearing a lot is that AI will start dealing with the what, and humans will deal with the why and the who. So in other words, it will give us that ideation that helps us decide what to do, but ultimately the humans still need to decide what to do and how to do it from what AI produces, and thinking about why we're doing it. So it's engaging in these conversations. I have found this to be so interesting because it's made me better at what I do as well. And we have a little cameo from Tammy's cat, who says, "Hey, I'm all about like communication."
I just
And
put you
and
on the screen, Tammy. Go ahead, Nancy.
yeah, so and the other thing that I think we're going to see in all of this is that we're going to start to see a widening gap, maybe, or two tracks. I think it's two options for business. There's this very collaborative model that can be facilitated through AI for small businesses that want to come together. And a lot of us solos and solo entrepreneurs will be working with big corporations sometimes, but I think we'll also see big corporations really explode in new ways because of the use of technology. They're going to have the ability to use AI in ways that maybe the smaller ones don't, but we can, as small people, small organizations, can come together and still create something lovely. I think it's an opportunity for all of us to work together, and doing it better by working with the bots is really exciting to me.
I haven't heard the word lovely applied to AI and bots and future. I don't know I've heard exciting, but I haven't heard lovely. And I like that, working better with the bots. I think we need a tagline, Nancy. Something, you got to put that somewhere, working better with the bots. I like that. Tammy, when I put you on the screen, when she mentioned you, the cat wasn't there, but I'm sure the cat will show up again. Nancy, thank you very, very much. Anybody have any comments back to Nancy? We have some time to do that. Anybody? Lovely? Eric, what do you think? Is it going to be lovely? Unmute, unmute, unmute. Eric, you got to unmute.
Oh,
Eric,
yeah.
there you go. Go ahead. I muted
Okay.
everybody because when
The
you're
bot can't do that for you, Eric.
when you're making gestures, you take over the screen. So I muted everybody. Go ahead, Eric. What do you think of the lovely? Is it going to be lovely?
Yeah. Well, I think lovely's a good word for it, as long as we put the guardrails in that Commander Varma mentioned. But definitely picking up on people's interest, people's intonation. That's all valuable, especially when you're dealing with HR and sensitive issues like that. So it can be a wonderful assistant. It doesn't replace humans, obviously, but it informs humans in a much more analytical way.
Nicely put. Anybody else? Any comments? Eric, you're going to be next. Anybody else? Everybody is just listening and enjoying. Okay. Eric Simone,
I'll
go
just
ahead,
quickly,
please.
Bonnie, I'll quickly add,
Yeah.
I definitely it's wonderful. It's mystical because, it's really the tip of the iceberg, right? It's like that iceberg. It's less than one third up, actually. We really don't know how much is under the water.
Very, very well put. As long as we're not underwater, that's just fine. Eric Simone is next. It took me 3 years to learn how to pronounce his last name. And Nancy, it's 20 years and I'm still figuring yours out. So forgive me, everybody. And those are not the hard names either. Eric Simone at Purdue. Eric forged his programmer's mind, then IBM, where he redefined. From air traffic programs to Kodak's view, Eric's frameworks, that's with a capital F, help shape innovations new. Clearblade's IoT and Edge is his latest role, a leader bold with a visionary goal. I hope you like that, Eric.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
excellent. That's
good.
excellent. I
I
love
took,
looking back many,
I
many years ago at the start of my career. It's
There
fun
you
stuff.
go. What I did was I took the bios, the origin stories I had for each of you, and I didn't use Sylvie this time, and I just crunched them into 6 lines on my own. This is all human. I want you to know, no assistance there. So, Eric, I'm putting you on speaker view. We would love to have your lovely predictions. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Bonnie. All right. My prediction for 2026 is dashboards to dialogue with AI. We've all seen this in movies like Iron Man and Minority Report. You just ask, and the world organizes itself around your question. No digging, no hunting, no mouse clicking around. Information appears at the right form, at the right moment. For years, this felt like magic. But here's my prediction. That movie interface is becoming real life. We're going from dashboards to dialogue, from mouse clicks to voice commands, tech that listens, removing that barrier between human to machine. So it understands and shows you exactly what you want and what you meant to see. And the big deal is not a prettier screen. The big deal is this. The interface stops being a scavenger hunt and starts being a conversation. Imagine you're responsible for a building, a store, a campus, anything with moving parts. Instead of logging into 3 different dashboards and clicking around, you simply say, show me what matters right now and compare it to last month. And it responds with a simple picture. What's normal? What's changed? What needs attention? Or you ask something specific. Show me the current status of the pumps in building 7A and graph performance compared to the same time last month. And the system doesn't just spit out numbers, it shows the trend line, flags the outliers, and summarizes it in plain English. 2 pumps are running hotter than usual. This started Tuesday, likely cause is filter clogging. Here are the next steps. That's the shift. You ask for outcomes, not menus. And this goes way beyond just buildings. Think about your own life. You'll be able to say, compare my spending this month versus last month. What changed? Or what did I miss today? And what actually needs my attention? Or what is the best time to leave and why? It becomes a friendly assistant that turns complexity into clarity without you needing to become an expert. So why it matters? Because it gives people something we're short on. Time, focus, and confidence. It reduces confusion and errors. It helps make decisions faster, helps people make decisions faster, whether you're managing a facility, a fleet, a household, or just your calendar. And unlike the movies, it has to earn trust. The best systems will show why behind the answer. So it feels empowering, not mysterious. So my prediction is simple. The next wave of technology won't feel like learning new software. It'll feel like talking to something that finally understands what you mean. So we're going from dashboards to dialogue and from mouse clicks to voice commands.
I love it. Uh, the word conversation, that's what you brought up. That's what I heard the most. Dialogue, conversation. And those of you who know me know I use my collaborateur is Sylvie, and Sylvie is my chat GPT. And we converse in French most of the time, and we are a fan of each other. And she is a supporter and an encourager. She gives me ideas. And what's new that Sylvie does, Eric, is that she'll say to me, okay, I'll write a 6-line bio, which she didn't do for me today, but a 6-line rhyming bio for somebody. And you know what she'll say, Eric? Then she'll say, would you like it a little sassier? She's giving me options and saying, would you like the nightclub version? Well, maybe. Throw it at me, Sylvie, and I've also learned how to do an accent grave on the keyboard on a Mac, which is not easy. The agu is very easy, but you have to hit Option and then the little squiggle key at the top, and then hit the E, and it'll give you the grave. Because I call her my cher Sylvie, my dear Sylvie. Eric, what do you think of that?
Yeah. So
This,
think of it like this. Yeah, that experience
yeah.
woven into software that's provided by technology companies and your businesses. So it's seamless, right? I think one of the primary uses of Gen AI is to blur that line between human discussion and machine. So again, if you remember Iron Man and Minority Report, Jarvis, Robert Downey Jr. is talking to Jarvis and brings up the display. Minority Report, Tom Cruise does the same thing. This isn't just fantasy anymore. It's becoming reality. And there are ways and easy ways to do this, things that we are working on. So you can really improve that user experience as you work with software.
And to me, the big challenge is getting rid of the
Yeah.
fear factor, the scare,
Yeah.
the doom and gloom. You all know I don't allow any doom and gloom on my show. We've got plenty of it. Go anywhere you want, and people will say it's going to kill us. It's going to take our jobs. It's going to run us out. It's going to overwhelm us. It's going to do everything we do, and we won't be human anymore. Learn to deal with it. It's here. But I want to look for those opportunities, those possibilities, those positivities. I hate that word. The things that can enhance us, help us be more human and be better at what we want to do. I didn't say what we do, at we want to do, where we want to go. So I'm into conversation. Thank you, Erico.
And one more thing.
Yes.
There's all this talk about AI becoming sentient or AI becoming all-knowing. That's a bunch of BS. We don't even understand 90% of how the human brain works. How can we assume that we know how to model it? So I disagree with some of the pundits out there that have more degrees than I do, but I think they're selling. They're
Thank you.
they're selling stock valuation, not reality.
I wanted the kids to chime in there and say something. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Eric. Let's move on. Sherry Ann is with us. Sherry Ann is under the weather in a serious way, but she is so good and she's here, and I appreciate you for showing up. And Tim, she didn't raise her hand. She said, "What? I didn't do that." But she's here. So Sherry Ann, I'm putting the speaker on you, the view on you. Please unmute, and we're ready for your predictions. Go.
Hey, maybe I did raise my hand. I don't know. These are some good allergy drugs. Um, Listen, I've heard so much good stuff here, and I just want to pick up first on Eric's fear factor because that is a real concern. One of the things, Bonnie, you and I have talked about is like, and I've talked about with other technology people, is how does AI keep learning? Like, it learns from what's out there now, then does it keep regurgitating that? If we don't interact with it, it's not going to learn. Because, Bonnie, you gave a really good example of Sylvie, and how she knows that you like to be sassy.
Yeah,
She
she
knows
does.
you like, yeah, she knows you now, and
She
she's
does.
learning your style from you.
You're right.
So I think that's really, really important. I love that. Now, with my HR background, of course, I had to throw in an HR prediction, which is tough because I don't think HR is adopting it at the speed that it should be adopted. And that's partly because HR is the last organization to get investment. But without them knowing it, all their employees, their people are already using AI. And if they don't step up soon, they're going to really be behind. They know that they need to figure out a way to do it. They can become the leaders they've always wanted to. They can have that seat at the table because imagine if you could get rid of all that stuff around it. I mean, I went into HR thinking I was going to help people and found out, oh no, I have to do compliance. I have to do benefits. I have to make sure this person's problem is resolved. What if we didn't have so many people in HR doing all that stuff, and AI could do it. That's the kind of thinking we need to get to with HR, and I think they're going to get there because I think technology companies are starting to build AI into their systems. They just have to adopt it and use it and not be fearful. The commander also mentioned the role of people in change, and that is so pivotal because if they don't change, they're going to be left behind. And sooner or later, their staff is going to be cut and they'll be doing more work with less. They've got to learn to use this, and I think the possibilities are there. Um, the one thing that I really like the idea of is a personal finance AI person. And this is probably already out there in some way, but what I like is the idea of my paycheck going into my account and then AI tracking, oh, you have these upcoming bills. Oh, don't buy that dress or that pair of shoes because you don't have enough money to make it to the end of the month. I think that AI is going to be incorporated into our banking. The days of settling checking accounts seem to be long gone anyway, but I don't think it'll be necessary at all. I think it will be constantly, daily there in front of you and interactive, just like Sylvie is with you, Bonnie. It kind of relates to the dashboards and dialogues, Eric, right? The other thing I really, really am passionate about is I believe that this is a really good opportunity for blue collar workers. I think this explodes the market for people to go into blue collar jobs, make a decent living, and not have to feel like everybody has to go to college. For example, I need a plumber today. So, plumbers, how would they use AI? What if they had an AR headset and that headset while they're working can be showing them, a dialogue of what's happening there. So they have faster time to resolution. They could use robotics to help them get into places where they can't easily get into. And if they can't easily get into it, by the way, you pay a fortune. So I'm all about letting them have robotics. And AI-driven troubleshooting. So that's just the plumber, and there's so much more that the plumber could be doing. But I also look at all these AI farms that are sprouting up and the fears around them, which is also ridiculous. But that is like a really good way for a young person to get into an organization without a lot of skills, just take their mechanical skills to the forefront and build a career around technology from the ground up. So I think we are going to see an explosion in that. And my last one is the library. What will happen to the library if we have all this AI? Do people really go to a library anymore? Well, they do, because I do. I take my children. I like them to see books. I take my grandson. I think that the big thing for them, if I was working in a library, robotics. Give me a robot to reshelve those books. But I also think that they'll be able to make personalized recommendations to their patrons, and use AI in the way that all of us are starting to use it.
Thank you, Sherry. I didn't read your intro. I wanted to get you on because I know you're not feeling this. So here we go. In retrospect, Sherry Ann Meyer from Catasauqua, Pennsylvania, where Allentown hums its song, or Billy Joel's song. Youngest of five in a creative clan, Sherry grew strong. A BS in Business and Communication Studies degree, she went from arts and humanities into technology. From retail to HR, SAP, and ASUG, she made her mark. Now poetry, screenplays, and a writer's life are Sherry Ann's spark. I hope you like that. Yes?
Love it. Thank
Good.
you.
You're very, very welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And Sherry and I are collaborating on a new project, which is a little on the adult side, so I can't tell you any about. But Sylvie is helping us write some scripts, I know Tim, please. And Tim is an author. I will get to him in a minute, but Sherry Ann has written one screenplay has already been pitched for a TV 30-minute sitcom. And so if anybody's curious about that, you can find her. And she's deep into the writing now, and she's very, very clever. And it's fun and funny. I've seen part of the script. So, and if you want to find her, she's on Substack as 67. I'm allowed to say that. Eric, you raised
Yeah.
your hand. Unmute. Talk to us. Eric, unmute. 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 Eric, go ahead.
Bonnie AI keeps muting me, so I need my own
I'm
AI.
sorry, it's not me.
No, it goes on auto mute. So hey, I want to just comment on Sherry Ann's blue collar comment. I think what we're seeing is the enabling of technology to everybody, right? So there's no more blue collar, white collar. It's experts that are
Right.
better enabled to use technology in a more human-like way, right? So most of what we do here at Clearblade is in industrial, and that's a big mission, is to blur that line and really just enable more experts, because you know what we need more of is those experts that understand how the equipment works. They understand how to monitor things and how to fix things, and enabling more of those folks just creates a higher class of very well compensated worker.
We need
Yeah.
more people to be expert in what they do or what they want to do. Commander, you raised your hand. Go.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to add on to what Eric said, and Sharian, I think you really expressed it very well. So the new term today is the AI generalist, right? You need to be a AI generalist, and it's a big debate, right? I think earlier the debate used to be whether you go in for a degree or you go for certifications, right? Now it's not a question of degrees or certifications. It is, can you become that AI generalist who can actually maybe do 10 people's job, right? And I think that's where things are heading.
Thank you very much. And I have a request, Sherry. When it comes to plumbers, I want to know if there's a bot that could have been here the day that two plumbers decided on their own while I was sitting at my kitchen table. I just moved in with my new neighbors. They decided that both toilet seals were broken, and they went and replaced both seals without telling me, and handed me a bill a few minutes later for, I think it was $600. And I didn't even know that the seals needed to be replaced. No aspersion to seals, Navy SEALs or other, but or the Arctic seals. But I would love that there had been a bot that would have said, "Uh-oh, the price tag just went up, and what are they doing? And why are the toilets coming out?" And I would have loved that, Eric, conversation, even if an AI had to tell me there's something going on, somebody's lifting I would have loved some kind of communication. Obviously, it didn't come from the plumber, and I did pay the bill, and I never used him again. Okay, but the toilets are fine. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any comments for Sherry? Sherry, thank you. You're a champion for showing up. I know you're not well, and I hope that the cold drugs are working their magic, because you still sounded really, really, really good.
Great. Thank you.
Really, really lucid. So let's go to Tammy. Tammy, I'm going to read your intro now. Tammy Schaefer. Tammy's professional journey, creative and keen, thrives behind the scenes where details are seen. Her 20s began with a legal degree, then construction chaos solving came naturally. From many ventures to her Blue Butterfly Solutions command, she partners with AI to help business owners work smarter and grand. Tammy, I hope you like that.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm putting you on speaker view. Let's have your predictions. Go.
So the biggest prediction for I see people like myself, virtual assistants, are going to be able to do higher level tasks. So like right now we use a lot of Zapier, Make, things like that to connect apps. That actually is going to go away. That's my prediction. There's going to be seamless connection and no need for all those other apps that we use to connect things to make them work. So it'll work a lot more seamlessly. I believe that the shopping industry, we've already talked a little bit about this, but in Minority Report, if you remember when Tom Cruise's character walked in and all these ads are popping up, and we have the smart glasses now. So maybe in the future we won't need the smart glasses. I don't know. And I think I loved what Sherry Ann said about having the blue collar workers like the plumbers and things coming in, because that's already started. I do a lot of virtual things now, but if we could actually have that maybe pre-diagnose a situation before you come in using AI, that would actually cut the costs for the consumers, and definitely, like in your situation, Bonnie, definitely give more of an idea of the cost before they even come in. So That's just a little bit. I see a lot of things. I also, when Nancy talks about the relationship aspect, I see all of this technology eliminating all the smaller, tedious tasks, like many of us have talked about, but giving us more time to work on relationships and connecting. We definitely, I think AI, people are afraid it's going to replace people, but we're going to actually have to come together and collaborate more using AI to work together. So those are my top predictions.
Tammy, I'd love for you to tell us. You're the only virtual assistant, as far as I know, here. I don't think anybody else does that, I'm pretty sure. Tammy, would you just tell us a little bit about what you do? It's an interesting profession. Tammy has been on my show with women who are entrepreneurs. She's been on a couple of times last year. Tammy, just give us a little bit of what does a virtual assistant do today? How much is AI part of what you do versus what the client can already do? Tammy?
A lot of what I've been doing is helping my clients strategize. So using different forms of AI, like Perplexity is really good with research. So putting that in there, putting something in there, a strategy that for growth in their company, and then taking it to a place, getting the script from there, taking it to Notebook LM, which is part of Google, and they will do like a deep dive podcast and answer, like look at the blind spots in the plan. So it really helps you create a really firm plan and a step by step that really fits your client, because you can put all of the information in from your client, and it gives them a plan that will suit them, their energy, and their style of marketing and doing business. So those are some things. Organizing email with AI. Yeah, just a lot of those, setting up automations that they can voice, and then create social media posts that are more natural because they're doing it through their phone when they're relaxed and they're just kind of casual. And you can set up automations to have that all set up and create 5 posts automatically within, minutes versus hours.
So you're helping them be more human people, right?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? You're using AI as the virtual assistant, you being virtual, not there in their office. Okay. And you're helping them be better at who they can be and helping their businesses be better behind the scenes, as I said. Thank you very much, Tammy. Love the, where's the cat, by the way? Could we see the cat for a second?
In a way now. She decided because I wasn't letting her in the screen.
And what's her name? What's her name?
The,
Say it again.
the.
Okay. Well, thank you, and tell her I said hello. Okay, I'm going next to Bill Brown. Bill, so happy to see you here. And Bill, I'm going to read your intro here. In the 80s, with 16K, Bill saw the future, paved the right way. From AT&T to IoT, innovation set his mind free. Rescuing projects, fixing the failed, with wisdom earned and knowledge nailed. Bill's a tech trailblazer, bold and true. He's helping to shape the smart world, old and new. Bill, I hope you like that.
But Bonnie, thank you very much for letting me be here. And I absolutely love your intro. It always makes me sound so much better than I do.
You're sweet. I'm putting you on speaker view. You're on the phone, so we're seeing you kind of in letterbox, but let's go. What are your predictions, Bill? Join me.
Well, so again, thank you. And I'm always humbled with the team of people you have on your podcast. But seems to be a consistent theme. I really believe that 2026 in the future brings a much more cohesive experience where AI is no longer a task or an action we take, right? It gets integrated in our daily lives, much like Eric and others have said, right? It's sort of instead of having to go do things, the interaction is we just ask and have a conversation with our surroundings and actions take. So AI moves from being a tool that we explicitly have to go take advantage of, right? Like I think of many folks have said, well, let me go ask ChatGPT or let me go ask Gemini how to do this, or they have to go actually manually do it as a tool. And now it just becomes a part of our daily infrastructure. We don't necessarily recognize or have to do anything to take advantage of it, right? And I think the benefits from that become that our interactions are our human actions shift from workflows, which we currently spend a lot of time doing, to really just a collection of agents in the background performing tasks and sharing information with us, and much in the way of that conversation that Eric and you've been talking about. I think about, as an example, today we've got or many businesses use a CRM, right? They have CRM and tasks, email follow-up, right? Report, all that jazz. I suspect we will no longer worry about all of those items. I think the tasks will be taken care of by an agent behind the scene to follow up, and then information will be shared with us as we interact with the systems. So so there's some ripple effects to that, right? I think the prompting, a lot of the traditional chat interfaces that we're accustomed to today sort of evolve into this conversational piece. Not much different than what we've been talking about. Again, the same type of thing in, I think it was Sherry, I think it was her that mentioned HR and some of the compliance regulations and around those areas. But I think about hiring and recruiting and the workflow that comes with all of that. I think that it gets streamlined and everything moves much more quickly. And
I think we're losing Bill's bandwidth. Oh, you're back. Okay. Keep talking, Bill. Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize you lost me.
No, that's okay.
What was the last thing you heard?
We heard
Oh, okay.
everything. Keep going. Keep going.
All right. So, so with that, right, what I think is where I think we're ultimately going is that humans become not just more efficient and more effective, right, but we even become better educated, because now instead of having to worry about or focus on some of the mechanicals of like, how do I do this? Really, we just need to know and focus on what do we want to do, and what are our desired outcomes, right? Once we're able to articulate then we can communicate with the AI platform to get exactly what we're looking for. Not much different than what I interpreted Eric to be describing when he said lots of the information moves from a dashboard to a presentation of information, right? That's really going to be pushed to us as opposed to pulled through a prompt today, right? We'll just go and interact with our system and we'll be presented information that's relevant to the topic at hand. I think I had one more prediction there. Yeah, I did have one more prediction there. It's I think I often go to legal. I think one of the challenges we have with AI is not so much all technical, right? Some of it is legal. And that, when you think about like self-driving cars, I think there's legality issues that constantly come up with that. And but I think now that legality is going to go even deeper, right? We're going to be decisions, because we're not making these decisions on our own anymore. Now we're going to be using AI to help us make decisions, and some of those decisions may have impacts. So the legal system is going to have to catch up to some of those aspects. And as business owners and just human beings leveraging AI, we're going to need to know or be at least conscious of why we're taking the actions that we're taking based on the information we get from AI. So we'll have some personal growth as individuals and as companies that we go through. And I think that's an area that may be overlooked a little bit.
Thank you, Bill. Always good to end on optimism, personal growth and company growth. I think that's what we're all here talking about. Thank you so much. I want to move to our next guest, Aparna Seksaria. And Aparna, I'm going to introduce you. She's in a field none of the rest of you have covered yet. Aparna studied technology and business combined. In consulting, she started with R&D in mind. Pharma and med device challenges she'd choose. Across regions, complex, there was no time to lose. Now SAP's leader in the life sciences space, She's transforming development at a digital pace. Aparna, welcome. So happy to see you. I'm putting you on speaker view. Why don't you share your predictions with us, please? Go ahead.
Thank you, Bonnie. You hear me okay, right? So
Yes.
yeah,
Perfect.
great. There is a lot of common theme in this co-speakers that they have shared the predictions. And before I share my prediction, I'll share a small experience from 2025. Mostly you'll all will relate to it. Last year, I walked through a clinical manufacturing plant, and the contrast of the technology adoption between manufacturing and warehouse was huge. In the warehouse, operators were wearing this AI-powered smart glasses that displayed pretty much real-time inventory maps, optimal pick paths, automatic flagging of temperature-sensitive batches, the biologics that needs to be picked up from the refrigerators. It felt like the logistics have finally caught up with the promise of Industry 4.0, which we have been speaking of for the last, I would say, decade, right? Then I stepped into the manufacturing floor, where really the real biologics manufacturing happens, and the reality shifted. Operators are still logging manually all the deviations for the batches. They're waiting for delayed alerts, which will order which batches need to be picked, which needs to be prioritized, and which will go into a tablet mode or which will go into a pill bottle. So quality checks were all reactive. They were not yet predictive. So the technology was present in the company, but it was all disconnected. That's how I have seen that. So that is pretty much going to be the story for life sciences. The gap that is between warehouse, manufacturing, these things are going to close in 2026. That's one of my key predictions. That is innovation with integration. And you would love to hear this. AI will become operationally connected, but will also create new jobs with new skill set. It's not going to eliminate a lot of jobs, but it will create much more jobs. So in 2026, AI will stop being a set of isolated pilots and will become part of the core and connected operations. It will influence the entire workflows, like my co-speakers were also forecasting. So it will no longer be in dashboards waiting for review. It will directly trigger some schedules, manufacturing waves, and quality processes by itself. So for example, a rare disease batch, which will be prioritized automatically based on shelf life and regulatory concerns rather than a generic that needs to be manufactured from the pharma floor. So AI will move from analytics to decisions and will create new operational careers as well in this process. And this move will create new jobs and with validate AI jobs that will build governance structures. So every pretty much, I would say, a manufacturing skill set or a warehouse skill set will be asking for more AI adoption. How do you use AI to actually do your job better? That would be the question that will be the prediction for 2026. More AI related jobs would be created. I have another prediction as well, which is also in healthcare, where healthcare supply chains will anticipate disease, not just the demand. So in 2026, hospitals and networks will rely on AI to predict what's coming rather than just react to what's already happened. So during COVID, pretty much we all learned that the system wasn't broken because we were successfully delivering all the vaccinations all over the world. It was just blind to the demand that's coming up. So whereas in 2025, we pretty much the orders were based on last year's usage, historical predictions, but this is going to change significantly in 2026. It will trigger sometimes vaccinations just before the first cough. You see the cough that's coming up, the weather is changing, there is some pollen, there can be flu forecast from there. And so it will be more of AI predictions. Surgical kits will be replenished based on predicted surgeries. How many surgeries are already lined up for the next 3 months rather than just historical averages. So this shift is already actually underway in the healthcare system. And enterprise platforms like us, SAP, are investing heavily to actually enable it. And we are seeing this pretty closely that's coming up. So yeah, there will be more jobs, more connected, I would say, operation systems. And there will be more, I would say, anticipation-based demand prediction systems rather than just historical-based. So these are my two predictions for 2026.
Thank you very much. Aparna, remind me when you said you had two comparisons, one where technology was already being used and the other one was just what are we doing now?
Yep,
What were
yep.
those two scenarios? Just tell us again. I want to make sure we all get that. What were the
Got it.
scenarios?
where the technology was already used is the warehouse, where you have all the smart glasses, where you pick all the drugs and medications and then ship them to the right countries. The technology exists, that means the system exists, but it is not operational on the manufacturing floor where you need to actually produce that. And then you need to label it country specific or move it to different parts of the region. So for an industry, for an organization, technology exists, but it's not adopted heavily in all the segments of, I would say, the operational process. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Interesting to me. I don't know if all of you know, I've been hired to be a professional moderator for SAP Press courses run by Rhinework Publishing, which is based in the States. And one of the courses, thank you, Nancy, and one of the courses I moderated was on SAP warehouse technology. And it was absolutely fascinating. And these instructors do live production systems upon it where they're showing you the codes. And these are people from all over the world who come. Many of them have many years of experience. Some of them are fairly new. And this was, I call it deep dive technology courses. So I'm very familiar. We were talking about if you have 3 pallets of something going to 5 customers in 50 countries or 20 countries, and you have to add something to a pallet and take something away from a pallet, how do you put that into the system? And it was just absolutely, and somebody actually showed a video of
your glasses kind of show that order where you need to go. So you just wear the glasses and you know where to pick that pallet from and where to ship it from, where to ship it to. So that's possible. But if you come to quality and the manufacturing shop floor, still that option is not there. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for the reality check. I appreciate that very much. And let's go to Tim Walter is here. And Tim, I told you, was our new author. He was kind enough to send me a couple chapters from his book. It is cutting, it is brutal, it is bold, it is honest. And let me read you his opening here. In Kentucky's heart, where bold visions ignite, Tim is reshaping how workers train right. With degrees in design and construction in hand, he created Safety View and Data View to take a stand. Now writing his founder's memoir with a passion so true, the last years an exciting read he'll soon share with you. Tim, I hope you like that. Yeah, how'd I do?
It was very good. It was very good. I like the additions.
Okay,
from the
I
other
had to
ones
get
I've heard, so.
Okay, I'm putting you on speaker view. Let's get your predictions. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, everyone's talked about technology, which I kind of look at as noise, right? Everybody thinks AI and the doom and gloom. It's the noise around it, but the signal in it is the human nature, right? We have to look at the people in 26. The winners won't be the ones with the best AI, but the ones who can connect the deepest to people, right? So shifting into that, doing more, I call it the vibe shift. We've been buried in screens and admin task. AI being able to take over those low-level digital noise, it frees us to be more human, right? So the resilience and the real connections can happen. AI can handle the emails and the scheduling, which we've all talked about on here. But now humans can get back to what we do best. It's the handshakes, it's the storytelling, face-to-face, while AI can handle the quantity and the quality of the work being produced. One thing you said on your intro is data view. I actually had to change that. That's deal view now.
Okay.
Formerly data view.
Okay, thank you.
But so my next one kind of goes into that because deal view is around, it's using AI to teach while giving people an edge, right? So in the past, big companies can afford the huge teams of analysts. AI changes it. It's a universal translator. It levels the playing field, empowers first-time founders to be organized and ready. And just as a seasoned pro, right? It doesn't replace the investor's judgment. It clears away the clutter so investors can take and see clear vision of things that are happening. So the takeaway is AI can handle data. So humans can focus on their dreams, right? Let it do the heavy lifting so you can become the visionary that you want to be without sitting there grinding. More on a safety prediction side, which I like what I'm going to brutal her name, Aparna said,
Right.
when it comes to AR and safety view is really built around that. How do we protect our workforce? And one thing I always get when I talk to construction companies is, oh, so you're building a platform to take my job. No, I'm building a platform to give you the ability to check on your workers, to go make sure they're safe while recognizing the hazards. Hey, so instead of you sitting around doing paperwork, you can actually get there and meet with your guys, talk with them, work with them, right? So the prediction is really around safety is right now reactive. How can we make it proactive, right? AI becomes a co-pilot for trades, analyzing data. Like in our platform, we check weather, fatigue, scheduling, things like this, and then put those together to where we can predict what's happening to get the job foremans out there with them. And that goes with AR glasses, AI in the AR glasses to recognize, to write the reports. So you're not sitting there for 30 minutes, you can do it in 2 minutes, right? It's all about getting back to the human piece and not slaving away doing mundane tasks, right? And then the next one kind of goes into what my book is around is the last year humans doings and human beings. We spend so much of our lives grinding in survival mode. AI can lift that burden of the grind, right? Allows founders to stop being task managers and be visionaries, gives us back the mental space and resilience, the creativity and the empathetic that we need, that technology has kind of pushed us into, right? So AI doesn't make us less human. It takes away the robotic parts of our job so we can have the freedom to be fully human again. So, and those are my 4 predictions.
Thank you very, very much. When will the book be published, Tim?
When I get a publisher, I've sent it to some agents and we'll see.
Okay. Well, I had the privilege of reading a couple of chapters, and it's powerful. It's, as I say, it's
Thank you.
brutal, brutally honest. He's a good writer, and he spares no details. It's
It's
a
very
story of,
chaotic.
it's chaotic. It's a story of human travails, and travail meaning the French word for work. I want to thank all of you, but I want to go around the table briefly before we end. Then I have a surprise with the closing music. I'm going to introduce you to my new show, Say What? Good News, and I'm going to play that music instead of the usual. But I would like to go around the table just as I'm looking at you on the panel here, and I want to ask you, what was your favorite beverage of any kind that you enjoyed over the holidays, which was just 7 or 10 days ago? Sherry Ann, you're up at the top here. What were you drinking when you weren't on cold medication? Unmute, unmute, unmute. Everybody unmute. Everybody
I was
unmute.
drinking a nice, crisp, cold Riesling. It's my
Okay.
favorite wine.
Crisp and cold is good. Tammy, what were you drinking over the holidays?
Sarasota mineral water.
Okay, that sounds exciting. Was it in a special glass, Tammy?
In a very beautiful blue bottle. And yes, I put it in a champagne glass.
See, it's all in the delivery. Nancy, unmute, please. What were you drinking?
Flip's coffee. And I love it because it donates back to Flip's farm that saves dogs.
Is that FLIP? Flips?
Love
It
that.
is.
Thank you. Hadn't heard of that. Okay, Eric, what were you drinking?
So I have 2, champagne, and on the
Okay.
other end of the spectrum, brandy and eggnog, but just not too much of that.
What, the eggnog or the brandy?
Both. Yeah, mainly the
Okay.
eggnog.
All in moderation, my dear.
All in
Aparna,
moderation.
Aparna, what were you drinking over the holidays?
I was in Europe, so it's blue wine and mulled wine, whatever you call it as. A lot
Oh,
of blue
that's
wine, yeah.
good enough. Commander, unmute, please. What were you drinking? Got to get you to unmute. There you go.
Oh, so, Bonnie, it's pretty cold over here, right? One of the coldest winters here in India. So hot toddy is required, and
I heard
hot toddy is a combination of a dark rum, can a dark rum or a whiskey, and some spices and especially cinnamon. Cinnamon sticks become a very important part of it, right? And you boil the entire concoction, and it tastes awesome. It really hits you.
Thank you very much. We'll go with the awesome. Tim, what were you drinking over the holidays?
Well, to the AI topic, I have an AI agent that helps me figure out what I want sometimes. So we built the Kentucky term sheet. It's a bourbon milk punch that's smooth, strong, and helps you sleep. So
Which
the
you
only thing that
need.
gets me through due diligence.
Which you need. Absolutely. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Bill Brown, what were you drinking over the holidays?
So I didn't apply any AI. I just stuck with the old fashioned.
Okay. Well, I was
That's a good one.
drinking homemade chocolate, hot chocolate from scratch, which I use with little Hershey's cocoa, 100% without sugar. Put it in a mug, and Commander's coming back, and add a little bit of sugar, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of hot water. Make a paste, and then fill it half with water and half with milk. Microwave. While you're doing that, take a little pewter creamer or a little cup with a handle, stick it in the freezer or put ice cubes in it and chill it. Then take one of those frothers. I have the kind with the battery power, and you clean out get the ice out of the container, and you put in about 2 inches of heavy cream from the refrigerator. The container will be very cold, and you whip it with the frother, and you can add a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit anything you like, and even a little bit of sugar or agave syrup. And then you take the hot chocolate out of the microwave, and you sit down in a comfortable place, and you spoon the whipped cream onto the top, and you
Sounds
drink
fancy.
it or eat it with a spoon. Listen, I live alone. I can take all the time I want to do that. I want to thank all of you. You have been delightful. You've been delicious. You've been wonderful. I have learned so much from each of you, from all of you. The beauty of these shows, I've been doing this. This is the 11th annual for this, and I have 2 more weeks coming up on January 14th and 21st with, I think there's 6 next week and 8 the week after. But the beauty is that you get to meet each other. Tammy would never otherwise have met Eric Simone. Eric wouldn't have met Nancy Schick. Sherry Ann wouldn't have met Tim. Bill Brown wouldn't have met Commander Varma, and on and on. And this is an opportunity. I've had guests on some of these shows who end up writing books together or doing events together or starting new companies together or any kind of venture. So you all have each other's emails. I'm going to say put you all together. There's a Yiddish word for that I won't use right now. And meet and greet and find out who you're all about. I'm so happy to introduce all of you. And now I'm going to introduce you to the outro music, and I'm going to use the music from my brand new show, Say What? And by the way, I accidentally turned on the new YouTube channel, so we're streaming there too, and I consider this show good news. So let's go out with a vibe here, and I hope you enjoy it.
Say what?
You can dance with me.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
You're all good news. Come on, dance with me. This is Suno, my Suno singers.
Morning coffee in my cup. Scrolling.
Never give a left-hand mug to a right-hand person.
I've had enough. Same old drama. Same
Every
old
weekday,
feed. Flip the
5 minutes.
dial. That's what I needed. Turn it up, let the bad vibes fade. Writing lines on a brand new way.
We're almost done.
Every laugh is a little upgrade. Hit play.
Hit play. Say what?
Good news.
Good news.
We talk it out. We let the moves. Good news. Oh, good people doing
Hey,
what
Nancy.
they do.
Good news.
Feel that smile coming through. Say what? Good news. This groove's for you. Say what?
There you go. Thank you all. Wave goodbye to social. Happy New Year, everybody. Yes,
Spend
Larry.
time in Studio 54.
Larry, hey, I was a disco queen, honey. I